Hello, my name is Kropka, and the stadium I am going to present is Hayward Field. Does anyone know where this stadium is at?
Eugene, Oregon?
Yes, it is home to the Oregon men's and women's track and field team, which is one of the most known track and field teams in the nation. Its location is in Eugene, Oregon, which is the middle west part of Oregon, and it's west of the Rockies and just east of the Pacific Ocean. So it's a little warmer climate in the spring because of the ocean, and it doesn't snow there much because of the Rockies and all that. The history of Hayward Field was named after Bill Hayward, who was the coach from 1904 to 1947. This is him. And this is a famous picture because it is of him talking to Steve Prefontaine, which is the most known runner in Oregon's history, Oregon's distance history. This coach, it was named after this coach because of him lobbying and asking the donors to give them money for this football stadium and track stadium. It was known as a football stadium originally. In 1919 it was built, which for the track coach to go out and want them to have a track and field area and it gets built as a football stadium first, that would be devastating. But as it later comes, the football team in 1966 had to move out due to its in-state rivalry with Oregon State. It got too big. So this was the last football field that was on the campus of Oregon. So that's pretty neat that Hayward Field is still there, and it was the football stadium originally. The track originally opened in 1921 after it got built. It was only a 6-lane track at first, which is pretty remarkable because most tracks now have 8 lanes, and this is one of the most known tracks ever. So for it to only have 6 lanes at first, and now it's one of the biggest names around, it's pretty neat. As you can see, this is actually an older picture as the football field is no longer there. This was a picture in 1967 of when they finally took out the football field and put in all their field event stuff here. A thing that I found very neat about the stadium is it kind of has the look of Mount Union Stadium with covered bleachers. And when I came for my visit here, that was one of the things I noticed about our stadium, Mount Union Stadium. And that was one of the reasons why I came here, because I've watched and seen the stadium in movies, and I wanted to be able to run on that stadium, in which I can't run there, but I can run here, which is kind of the same atmosphere as Oregon's track. In 1987, they made a bunch of renovations, which put the track to an 8-lane track, and they added more seating around it with bleachers. But they also put in a 200-meter warm-up track, which for most athletes, or track and field athletes, we know that there is no warm-up track. Either you have an indoor track and an outdoor track, or just even an outdoor track. And for having a 200-meter warm-up track so you can go out there and do what you need to do, it was a big thing because no one else has it. Oregon also has an indoor track and an outdoor track, but this was pretty special. Hayward Field now, which holds many events. It held the Olympic trials in 2012, and it's held the past 4 years of NCAA Division I tournaments. But I did 2 different pictures here. One of the nighttime showing the lights, and they put in special kind of lights for the nighttime so they can show it on TV for ESPN and everything, and they're able to show everything, and it's pretty neat because you see the sunset and it just looks like a picture out of a movie, and it's pretty neat. And then you have the daytime picture where you can see all the fans all around the track. It looks like it should be a college football game, but it's there for a track meet, which is pretty neat. It is known as Tracktown USA, which was a pretty neat thing for me to know. When you come into Eugene, Oregon, they have this huge sign out in the middle, and it shows that it is Tracktown USA, that it is known for that. And this is one of the big pictures that when you see of Oregon's track, you think of the picture of the Tracktown USA fence. And this is actually pretty neat because this was the running of the 5,000 meter Olympic trials in 2012, which is one of the events that I really want to go watch because for USA, we have a really good distance team, and to be able to watch those runners run would be really, really neat. Who I'd want to take with me is my family because they are a big supporter in my life, and my dad from the beginning has like supported me, and every time he's talked about running, he always tells me times and who's like the big names and everything. My brother is becoming he's in 7th grade now, so he's starting to run, so that's a pretty neat thing. I'd be able to take him there. My sister is running track, so like to be able to take her to like the most iconic track in the world would be really neat to take. And then my mom's been a big supporter in this also. Thank you very much.